it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball. It's not because I don't love the game. I love the game of basketball, I always will.
Athletes who become professionals make a lot of money in a short period of time. The average salary for an NBA player is $6.4 million, while the NFL is $850K. These averages should allow for players to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. Instead, 60% of NBA players go broke within 5 years of leaving the league, while 78% of the NFL players go broke after leaving 2 years of the league. To understand why this is, we look at athletes' education and their mindset before retirement. Most of these professionals have typical undergrad educations, which means that they have very little knowledge on budgeting, long-term planning, and the possibility of a second career. This limited knowledge makes them more likely to create spending habits that are not sustainable after their short careers end.
Hey everybody, last press conference of the year, how y'all doing? Yeah, let's get some questions going. How much you gonna wait?
Are you going to be back next year?
Am I gonna be back next year? You know, season just ended. I'm just looking forward to some time off. Haven't really thought about it at all.
Alright, well, have you thought about life after retirement?
I haven't really thought about life after retirement, you know. I've just always been thinking about football. Should I have been thinking about it?
Yeah, I think it would have been beneficial to start thinking about life after retirement early, as an area that athletes typically tend to commit too much to is their athletic identity. Having too strong of an athletic identity can result in a wide array of post-retirement problems, most of which negatively affect their retirement. One of the main issues that an athlete may face when retiring is a disruption of their identity. If an athlete derives their self-worth and identity solely from this role, it can result in an identity crisis. Athletes who commit strongly to their athletic identity also tend to invest less time in aspects of life other than sport. By diminishing other aspects of life and self-interest, the athlete will experience a longer adjustment to life without sport, which in turn increases the likelihood that they will experience depression, high levels of stress and anxiety, or a financial crisis.
Most of my teammates, they don't really plan on working again, but maybe they just have a lot more money saved than I do.
The median NFL salary is actually $860,000, and the average career length is about 3.3 years, which translates to $2.838 million in career earnings. NFL players only get to take home about half of their gross pay. After estimating normal expenses for an average NFL player, they're left with about $240,000 a year in savings. While this is a lot of money, it's important to remember that the average career lasts just 3.3 years, which means that the average retired NFL player has about $850,000 in savings. If they live another 70 years, this breaks down to just $12,000 a year to live on. Let's look at another career for perspective. There are 1,696 NFL players on active rosters during the year. In contrast, there are almost 21,000 partners at top 100 corporate law firms across the country. The average lawyer at these firms makes $1.8 million, and lawyers can easily work for 40 years, which translates to a career income of over $75 million. There are more than 12 times as many corporate partners as NFL players, and they make about 26 times as much over a career than the average NFL player does.
Damn, I never thought about that. I mean, but people know who I am. They're gonna be helping me out.
I don't know about that because many athletes' identities and skill sets are closely intertwined with their sport, which is why so many athletes face a financial identity crisis when their playing days are over. No longer do they have the large amount of money coming in from the skill that they've honed their whole life being that sport. The identity of an athlete comes from two structures as well, one being social while the other one is mental. And the mental one is the athlete has internalized the role of being an athlete, and that's soon taken away from them, whether it be by choice or chance. And these structures of identities for athletes make it hard for one to truly retire from the sport. These structures affect how the athlete engages in society and is accepted by society. When society no longer remembers who you are, it can be very hard for the athlete. While also allowing the athlete to internalize the role of solely being an athlete, this is a big, big struggle when you realize you are not the same person you used to be.
Wow, you know, I didn't really know that. I never knew our money could disappear so quickly, even though we make so much. Or that, you know, our social and mental identities are so based on football. I thought it was more than that. I should probably invest in a financial advisor to help myself out, because I don't really know much about that. And this offseason, I'm really planning on branching out and finding more things to do outside of football. That's it. Thanks for the tips, guys. Have a good one.